Welcome to your daily dose of Carolina Bays. This presentation discusses a new paper about the Nebraska rainwater basins. The Nebraska basins are similar to the Carolina Bays, but they have a southwest orientation instead of the southeast orientation of the basins in the East Coast. The paper by Hansen and Jokel is titled Stratigraphy and OSL Chronology of Lunette Deposits indicates that Nebraska's rainwater basins formed by Aeolian deflation between 39 and 25 Ka, that is 39 to 25,000 years ago. The abstract says the rainwater basins are northeast-southwest oriented deflation basins on an Aeolian sediment mantle remnant alluvial plain south of the Platte River in central Nebraska. The text of the document says that geomorphologists have generally agreed since at least the early 1980s that Nebraska's rainwater basins are products of Aeolian deflation, but divergent theories have also been proposed, including extraterrestrial impact structures potentially related to the Carolina Bays, for example, Zamora, 2017. The reference to my publication was what brought my attention to this paper. My publication proposes that the Carolina Bays and Nebraska basins were created by oblique secondary impacts of glacier ice ejected by an extraterrestrial impact on the Laurentide ice sheet. The idea that the Nebraska basins were geologically related to the Carolina Bays was presented by William Zanner and Mark Kusila at the GSA annual meeting in November of 2001. This presentation preceded by at least 5 years the publication of the Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, which involved an extraterrestrial impact. The abstract by Zanner and Kusila says, "Our hypothesis is that the basins on the current land surface originally formed as blowouts or low spots in abandoned Platte River fluvial sands and gravels. The term Aeolian deflation is now used instead of blowout." Table 2 of the publication shows the OSL samples from lunettes at 6 basins from both the eastern and western parts of the rainwater basin plains. The table has the depth of the sample in meters and the OSLH in thousands of years ago. I created a scatter plot of the OSLH on the horizontal axis and the sample depth on the vertical axis based on the numbers in this table. From the geological law of superposition, we would expect the OSLH to increase with depth. The plotted points do not show the simple linear trend that I anticipated. This suggests complex depositional histories for the terrain with very scrambled stratigraphy. Hansen and Jokel claim that Kruger and Kusila demonstrated that the basins formed by Aeolian deflation and that lunettes formed by the accumulation of deflated sediment immediately downwind. This is an inaccurate statement. There have not been any demonstrations showing that the Nebraska basins were formed by deflation. There have only been proposals, opinions, and hypotheses. It is very clear that the Aeolian deflation mechanisms for creating the Nebraska basins are only suggestions, proposals, speculations, opinions, or purely hypothetical ideas that have not been physically demonstrated by ground observations or by experiments as implied by Hansen and Jokel. If the wind could make basins, there would be new basins along the path of tornadoes. The Aeolian deflation hypothesis for the creation of the Nebraska basins is an unproven idea. If the winds of tornadoes and hurricanes are not severe enough to create basins, what kind of winds are needed? Geomorphologists who support the idea that Nebraska's rainwater basins are the product of Aeolian deflation need to come up with better physical explanations. The next episode has a surprise.